take a quick check on the Philippine markets. The PSEI opens today higher by about 0.1% at 6,312. So we're budging above 6,300 still. The stock market climbed yesterday, Monday, to the 6,300 level. Investors are welcoming China's fresh stimulus measures. As for the Philippine peso, let's take a look at how that's traded. The start of the day at 8 a.m. at 57.21 from the previous close of 57.3 pesos per dollar. And let's ask our next guest if he agrees that the markets will continue its upward trend. For more with us, Ron Acoba, the co-founder and Chief Investment Strategist at Trading Edge. Good to have you back on. Ron, thank you so much for joining us. Ron, are you with us?
Yes, Kathy, I can hear you.
Great.
Hello?
Okay, we had to call you back because we need a technical perspective from what's going on. Are things looking up for the Philippine markets, you think, Ron?
Well, in my opinion, I think the PSEI is actually poised to extend its recent rally, given the fact that despite the notable pullback in the U.S. equities markets, our own local market has managed to keep itself not only steady but even put on some gains. So its relative strength suggests that some fund flows could finally be flowing into not only into our region but specifically into our market as well. And looking at individual stocks, for example, the banking sector. The banking sector has performed quite well over the past 2 weeks with the likes of BDO and BPI testing their highs. Imagine that. So I believe with the banking sector leading the way, the local market will indeed be positioned to extend its ongoing rally in the very near term.
You know, I wanted to pull up the PSEI here and just show you how the index has traveled. Really bounced back below the 6,000 level since the start of the year. The index fell to a low of 58.62. That was last January 31st. Mm-hmm. It's quite a ways to the 7,600 level that I've heard it might go to. But that was something that we'd seen in October 7 of last year. So what catalyst do you think the PSEI might need for a break above 6,400? So you can see there on that chart.
Well, generally, if you recall, over the past 3 or 4 years, the main driver of market direction remains to be the monetary direction of the monetary policy, both in the U.S. and here, right? So far, at least locally, it is expected, or there's a better than 50% chance that the BSP would cut again by at least 25 bips in its next monetary policy next month. So that would be positive. And at least locally, in the past couple of months, local stocks have also benefited with the cut RRR cut that the RRR cut that the BSP had recently done. It already cut, I believe, the bank's RRR at twice in the last few months. So this monetary policy loosening, at least by the BSP, is finally starting to show up interest in the market. And
it's
to
really
be specific,
showing up as well in the foreign buying, because when you look at the chart there, it's pretty convincing. They've really been supportive. It's buoying the Philippine stock market as it is the Philippine peso. The local currency strengthened by 1% versus the U.S. dollar since December's fall. And when you look back to that month, it fell to nearly 60. So what do the technicals say about that possible break below 57, where the peso is currently hovering?
Right now, in the last 8 or 9 days, the USD PHP exchange rate has just been trading within a tight band at around 57.30. But prior to that, it has already broken below its key support at around 57.70. Now, given that, I actually expect the USD PHP to continue to fall down. In other words, for the peso to continue to strengthen by another 50 cents, perhaps, to around 56 to around 56.7, and this is and the drop in the U.S. dollar index and the U.S. yields actually supports this prognosis with the U.S. dollar in general relative to its other peers, other major currencies. Its decline actually translate to a weakness in the USD and against the peso as well.
All right, we got about a minute. Where do we deploy then, Ron, knowing that the peso might strengthen further, the BSB is going to cut, and that we're seeing a lot of play going on in the big banks?
So far, banks has been the leader in this ongoing rally, albeit a very shallow rally, but nonetheless, like I said, the bigger banks, BDO, BPI, are testing their highs, and that's and we haven't seen the general market rally to its fullest yet. So I believe the banks will lead a notable rally in the general market moving forward. So yeah, I would deploy my funds into banks, particularly the leaders, BDO, BPI.
All right, take your money to the banks. That's the message there. Thank you so much for making the time, Ron. I know you got a technical conference that you're catching up with. Ron Acoba of Trading Edge joining us on the line.